The episode begins by showing us the universe, specifically the center of space of nine-character pillar of nine character. Our main character's soul appears here, known as Yuan, Emperor of nine character. He awakens from his sleep and exclaims, "It's been tens of thousands of years. I was sleeping all the time. My head hurts." He then reflects on his past, saying, "Emperor Hao Tian, you competed against me to be the emperor of the continent tens of thousands of years ago, led hundreds of thousands of soldiers to carry out an ambush on me, and broke my soul. But you didn't know I survived anyway, and my soul is recovered." The main character continues, "Before me, array the soldiers, line up to fight." This sentence contains everything I learned in my life, but to save me, their power was used up. Only one word still has some power left. To recover my power and take revenge, I must repair this sentence first. As soon as he says, "Space of nine character disperse," the space around him disappears, and he lands on a different continent. He declares, "The thing that can repair the sentence is on this continent. When the sentence is repaired, I will be back. Hao Tian, I will cut your head off then." With this, he enters the continent. The Thunder Sword sect's last stand. We are then shown the Thunder Sword sect, where our main character is about to land. The sect has been attacked and has been destroyed by another sect. We see a man named Li, the leader of the Thunder Sword sect. He confronts his enemy saying, "We have no old scores, but you want to wipe my sect out. Why, Sir Bloodblade?" Bloodblade responds, "Li, you led the heavenly thunder into your body while practicing swordsmanship, but were seriously injured. That's an open secret. At the same time, this is a great chance for my sect to become one of the Big 10 sects. I will destroy your sect to climb into the top 10. Li, your sect is doomed. If you surrender, I can give you a quick death." The leader of the Thunder Sword sect defiantly says, "In your dreams, no one in my sect will surrender. Even if I die, I will hit you with the heavenly thunder." With that, he begins to release his immense power. A disciple of the Thunder Sword sect exclaims, "Great! The master mastered the last move of the Thunder Sword skill. This move can definitely kill Bloodblade." The enemy is taken aback, thinking, "What? Wasn't he seriously injured while practicing the last move? How could he master it? I don't think we can win him. Let's retreat. We can't win." Bloodblade, however, says, "Stay calm. Look at him carefully. He's only pretending to be fine." We then see that the Thunder Sword sect leader has blood coming from his nose. His son says, "Father, please stay safe." The sect leader Li replies, "Don't worry, I can make it." Then he launches his attack. Heavenly Thunder. We see a strike of heavenly thunder coming from the sky toward Bloodblade. Bloodblade is terrified, thinking, "What? He really triggered heavenly thunder? Did he really master it?" But before the attack can hit Bloodblade, the Heavenly Thunder sect leader spits out blood and falls to the ground, seriously injured. The Heavenly Thunder attack disperses. Bloodblade thinks to himself, "If the Heavenly Thunder sect leader hadn't been injured during his practice, I would have died from his Heavenly Thunder attack today." Bloodblade then says, "Because you failed to kill me, now it's my turn." He licks his sword, causing a Thunder Sword sect disciple to shout, "Young master, take your father and go. We'll deal with it here." The sect leader asked herself, "Will my sect be ruined today?" Afterwards, a bolt of heavenly thunder descended from the sky again, striking the Bloodblade directly. Seeing this, the son of the sword sect leader exclaimed, "Father, you've mastered heavenly thunder." Then the main character appeared in the smoke, and everyone began to shout, "Hold on, there's a human in the fog." When the smoke cleared, the main character said, "It's not that bad. This world looks not bad." The son of the sword sect leader, Yi Ming, said, "Father, the heavenly thunder you triggered has a human in it." The sword sect leader said, "Heavenly thunder is super powerful. Normal people can never survive in it unless that guy is in the Yang realm." His son was shocked and said, "How could that be? There hasn't been anyone in the Yang realm for a millennium in Bihong." The leader said, "He must be. Only a powerful person in the Yang realm can stand heavenly thunder. If he's willing to help us, we can probably get through this crisis." The main character thought to himself, "I created the word before by performing all kinds of cultivation methods and can only recover it by collecting various cultivation methods. This world suits this goal well. My revenge starts here." Suddenly, someone called to the main character behind him, saying, "Sir, my sect is in crisis. Please help us. I can accept any of your requirements. As long as you can help us kill Bloodblade, we're willing to pay any price." The main character said, "Hold on, I'm not here to fight. You must be mistaken." Then Bloodblade rose from the ground and said in a menacing tone, "It's a surprise that you could find such a powerful helper, but do you think he alone can stop all my hundreds of disciples?" Bloodblade commanded, "Disciples of the Bloodblade sect, make the sky-breaking Bloodblade formation." Hearing this, all the disciples began to merge their powers to create the ghost-killing blade. Seeing this, the disciples of the Thunder Sword sect exclaimed, "This is the most powerful sky-breaking Bloodblade formation of the Bloodblade sect." It said that their ancestors used it to kill Yang realm cultivators. The sword sect leader said, "Sir, take cover. You can't stand head-on against it." The main character replied, "I said I have nothing to do with the Thunder Sword sect and don't want to get involved in this." Hearing this, Bloodblade said, "You've seen our power and are scared, but it's too late now. You have to die." Saying this, he ordered his disciples, "Ghost-killing blade, attack!" The disciples all attacked. Seeing this, the main character said, "Now that you insist, I have to fight." He tried to stop the ghost-killing blade with his bare hands. A disciple of the Bloodblade sect said, "He must have gone crazy, trying to stop our ghost-killing blade with his hands." The leader of the Thundersword sect cried out, "No, I thought we had someone who could help. Was I wrong?" His son said, "Even a young realm cultivator cannot stop the sky-breaking Bloodblade formation with bare hands. He's doomed." When the ghost-killing blade attack hit the main character, there was a huge explosion. Bloodblade laughed and said, "Ha ha ha! You're in the Yang realm, and so what? You'll die in the sky-breaking Bloodblade formation all the same. No one can stop me from ruining the Thunder Sword sect." Then, the main character's voice came from the smoke. "Oh, so that's how it is." Bloodblade's laughter stopped. The main character emerged from the smoke, having stopped the ghost-killing blade with just 2 fingers. He said, "You think you can kill me with such a weak attack?" Saying this, he broke the ghost-killing blade. Bloodblade was shocked and thought, "How is this possible? He stopped the blade with a bare hand?" After this, it is not shown whether our main character kills Bloodblade or lets him go, because in the next scene, our main character is confused and says, "Why do you want me to be your master?" Upon hearing this, the leader of the Heavenly Thunder sect says, "If you didn't kill Bloodblade, my sect would vanish in Nanling. You helped us greatly. Only by making you our master can we express our gratitude to you." And his son says, "We believe that with you leading us, our sect will be great again among the Big 10 sects." Upon hearing this, our main character says, "That's a good speech, but I know in fact you just want to bind me with your sect and use me to deal with your potential enemies." Seeing this, you can see the Heavenly Thunder sect leader's reaction, and he thinks to himself, "He saw through me. Gotta use plan B." Then laughing, he says, You must be kidding. No one should dare to challenge after people hear about what happened today. Moreover, my sect is one of the Big 10 sects. We have plenty of spiritual herbs and stones, and we are influential in Nanling. It's beneficial for you to be our master. Plan B is to lure him with benefits. Yi Ming says, "That's right, sir. We will try our best to meet your requirements as long as you can stay. Please think it over." The main character says, "I am not interested in what you said at all. All I want to know is how many cultivation methods there are in your sect." Upon hearing this, the sect leader says, "Cultivation methods? The only high-level cultivation method we know is the Thundersword skill. The rest is all low-level ones. I'm afraid you won't care about them." Two disciples behind the sect leader are talking to each other, telling from his power he might not even care about the Thundersword skill, right? How can we make him stay? The main character thinks to himself, "It's a small sect, it seems. They don't have what I desire." The sect leader says to our main character, "We have to accept it. We are the last one among the Big 10 sects, after all. The powerful cultivation methods are all in the Tianyuan sect. That's the first among the Big 10 sects. We have a large number of cultivation methods in our sect, but it's a shame that they're all of low level. The sir won't be interested in them." Upon hearing this, the main character says, "Hold on. Did you say you have a large number of cultivation methods?" The sect leader says, "Yeah, there are more than 60,000 in Law Hall, more than 30,000 in Scripture Pavilion, and more than 10,000 in Elder Senate. In total, there are about 120,000. Upon hearing this, the main character thinks to himself, "That many? I didn't expect that a small sect in this small world could have so many cultivation methods." The sectator says to our main character, "Sir, what are you thinking about? Is it because the cultivation methods in my sect are not powerful enough for you? Sir, if you want high-level cultivation methods, I can buy them for you. Even if I have to sell the belongings of the sect, I will buy them for you." The main character says, "No, I want these low-level ones," and thinks to himself, "More than 100,000 cultivation methods are enough for me to repair part of the power of the word before." The sect leader, upon hearing this, thinks to himself, "He likes low-level cultivation methods? Is that a special hobby of big figures?" The main character puts his hand on the sect leader's shoulder and says, "I will be the master of the Thundersword sect." And here the episode ends. In the beginning of this episode, a man is shown flying, which makes some people exclaim, "This guy is so fast. He seems to be in the Yang realm." That's Taoist Mingxia, the most powerful individual cultivator in Beiwang. What? He's the one who is said to be bloodthirsty and likes slaughtering a whole village? We are then shown Taoist Mingxia, who is heading towards the Thundersword sect. Seeing this, some people follow him. We are then shown the disciples of the Thundersword sect training. The sect leader's son remarks that the disciples are training quite well. The sect leader responds, "This is all because of Mr. Ye Xuan." Here, we learn the name of our main character, who is Ye Xuan. The sect leader's son says, "Mr. Ye Xuan is in the Yang realm. As long as he's in our sect, no one would dare to stir trouble for us." Just then, Taoist Mingxia makes a powerful entrance and says, "People of the Thundersword sect, prepare to die." The sect leader exclaims, "Who's it, Taoist Mingxia? We have no old scores, Taoist Mingxia. What are you doing in my sect?" Taoist Mingxia says, "I'm here to kill a certain person in your sect at the request of someone. But it's so troublesome to look for that certain person. So I decided to kill all of you so that I don't need to check one by one." Hearing this, the sect leader says, "The Bloodblade sect yesterday and Taoist Mingxia today, who on earth wants to ruin my sect?" The cultivators who follow Taoist Mingxia start to talk amongst themselves. Taoist Mingxia really wants to wipe the Thundersword sect out. The Thundersword sect is so unlucky. They suffered a great loss after Sir Bloodblade's attack. Now Taoist Mingxia is attacking them. They are doomed. Yi Ming, the sect leader's son, says, "Father, let's ask Mr. Ye Xuan for help." The sect leader says, Taoist Mingxia is at the third level of the Yang realm and the most powerful in Beihuang. Although Mr. Ye Xuan is also in the Yang realm, he cannot be a match for Taoist Mingxia. Let's not put Mr. Ye Xuan at risk. Yi Ming asks, what can we do if even Mr. Ye Xuan can't win him? The sect leader says, our sect will be finished today. I'll stop Taoist Mingxia. You go to tell Mr. Xuan about this. I hope he can lead my disciples and run away. Go. I can't stop him for long. With these words, the sect leader goes to fight. Taoist Mingxia attacks with his weapon and says she will die with his single strike. Seeing this, the cultivators there start to say, that power fluctuation is so strong. No more than 3 people throughout Beihuang could stand this strike. Thunder Sword sect is doomed. Taoist Mingxia is too powerful. Just then, our main character, Ye Xuan, says, who the hell is causing all the noise? With these words, he attacks with a hand made of spiritual energy. Taoist Mingxia is hit by the spiritual energy hand attack and a huge explosion is shown. Ye Xuan had launched the attack while sitting in his room. He says, finally, it's quiet. I can go on reading. The cultivators there start to say, who attacked? Did you see it clearly? Beihuang's most powerful cultivator, who's at the 3rd level of the Yang realm, just died? The sect leader says, Yi Ming, Mr. Ye Xuan saved our sect again. When Mr. Ye comes out, we must try our best to please him and satisfy all his needs, understand? Yi Ming replies, don't worry, father, I understand. Just then, Ye Xuan comes out of his room. The sect leader says, Mr. Ye Xuan, you finished reading? I spent 2 days reading. Finally, I read them all. Hearing this, the sect leader and Yi Ming are both surprised and say, you read all the hundreds of thousands of cultivation methods in the scripture pavilion in 2 days? Ye Xuan says, my spiritual senses are seriously injured and not as 0.01% as good as they are at their prime. Otherwise, I can master them in less than 1 second. So it took me some time. Less than 1 second. Mr. Ye Xuan, were you at the peak of the Yang realm when you were at your prime? Ye Xuan says, the peak of the Yang realm? No, higher than that. Hearing no, they ask, then could you be in a higher realm than the Yang realm? Ye Xuan says, all right, thank you for letting me stay for 2 days. I need to go now. The sect leader says, Mr. Ye Xuan, you leaving? Ye Xuan releases his power and says, I stayed only to read the cultivation methods. Now that I've read them all, I should go. What's the problem? The sect leader says, no, there's no problem. It's just I thought so many cultivation methods should be enough for him to read for a few years. I never expected he could read them all in 2 days. Ye Xuan says, don't try to make me stay. I need to find somewhere with lots of cultivation methods to stay. The sect leader thinks to himself, somewhere with lots of cultivation methods. I got an idea. Mr. Ye Xuan, I know such a place. There are the largest number and most variety of types of cultivation methods there in Beihuang, and I can recommend you to go there. As long as you stay to be a member of my sect, I can help you enter there. Hearing this, Ye Xuan says, oh, what's that place? The sect leader says, that place is Wandao Academy. In the next scene, we are shown the Lingyun sect, where the master of the Lingyun sect, Ling Sheng, says, what? Taoist Mingxia is killed by 1 strike? How is that possible? Ling Sheng's son's name is Ling Yang. Yang says, father, it's true. I heard that guy is called Yi Huan. Different from the Bloodblade sect, Taoist Mingxia is killed by Yi Huan's 1 strike. Many people saw it. It can't be wrong. Ling Sheng says, Taoist Mingxia is at the 3rd level of the Yang realm. How could he be killed by 1 strike? Where did the Thunder Sword sect find the helper? If he comes for revenge, we need to ask the elder for help right now. Yang says, father, Ye Xuan won't come. According to reliable information, Thunder Sword sect recommended he enter Wandao Academy. The Lingyun sect leader says, he went to Wandao Academy? It seems they still don't know we plotted everything. but I need to get rid of him ASAP. Otherwise, we won't be able to wipe the Thundersword sect out and realize our goal for this century. Young says, That's right, but Wandao Academy isn't involved in worldly affairs. It's independent of the Big Ten sects. We can't interfere with its affairs. The Lingyun sect leader says, Who told you so? We've recommended many disciples to enter there over the years. Although most of them didn't become powerful, some of them became elites there. Yang asks, Father, do you mean that martial brother? Will he help us tackle Yeshuan? Ling Sheng says, This martial brother of yours is very proud of his power. As long as we tell him that Yeshuan is said to be the most talented person in Beihuang, he will help us. In the next scene, Wandao Academy is shown, where many disciples have come to take the Wandao Academy admission test. Just then, a disciple appears and says, I'm Lin Kun, monitor of the fighting class here. You can call me Lin. I'm responsible to lead you into the academy. Seeing him, all the disciples start offering greetings. Just then, young Caillou arrives, whom all the disciples look at and say, She's beautiful! She's my type! Seeing her, Yeshuan says, Not bad. Lin Kun says, Yan Caillou, what are you doing here? I'm sent to lead them in. Young Caillou says, Don't mind me. I'm just here to help my teacher look for students with potential. Lin Kun says, Don't waste your time. Even if there are students with potential, they will be selected for my class instead of your useless refining class. Then he shouts, Follow me, all of you. Let's start the first procedure of entering the academy. Greet the dean. There, a large statue of the dean is shown. Lin Kun says, This is the founder of Wandao Academy. He's Mr. Li Qingfeng, the only dean here. Hearing this, Yeshuan thinks to himself, So, you founded the academy. You loved reading books back then. It's a realization of your dream that you founded an academy. And here, the episode ends. Just as seen in the second episode, Yeshuan, upon seeing Li Qingfeng's statue, thinks to himself, So, you established this academy, did you? Lin Kun says, Before we greet the dean, I have to warn you. If any of you have bad intentions toward the academy, you can go now. Otherwise, a disciple asks, Otherwise what? Lin Kun says, You'll know that after greeting the dean. Now that no one leaves, let's get started. As all the disciples greet the statue, a golden-colored energy emerges from within it and strikes two disciples. They are injured and flung backward, revealing their true forms to everyone. They are both fox demons. All the disciples are shocked, except for the main character, Yeshuan. Lin Kun says, The statue has the dean's mind left on it. Anyone who has bad intentions toward the academy will be revealed. He then calls the guards and orders, Take these two demons to the law enforcement hall. His attention then turns to Yeshuan and asks, You're the only one who didn't greet the dean just now? Why? Yeshuan replies, Do I have to? Lin Kun says, Those who don't dare to greet the dean will be treated the same as the two demons. Hearing this, Yeshuan says, Okay, I have no option but to greet him. The moment Yeshuan greets the statue, lightning strikes it and the statue shatters into two pieces. Lin Kun's eyes nearly pop out in shock. At the same time, in a dark place far away, Li Qingfeng, the one whose statue was broken, is fighting a dragon. Li Qingfeng has severely wounded the dragon, but his attention is suddenly diverted. The dragon takes advantage of this lapse and escapes. Li Qingfeng says, Yes, I felt it right. It's his key. He is back. On the other side, all the disciples are talking. What? The dean's statue was broken? It broke when that guy was greeting it. Could it be his trick? One disciple says, He's from the weakest sect among the Big Ten sects. How could he have the power to break the statue? Lin Kun thinks to himself, So, he's Yeshuan, the genius from the Thunder Sword sect Ling Sheng talked about. I don't know how he broke the statue, but I can use it as a reason to kill him. This is only his first day in Beihuang. How could he have everyone's attention? He then says aloud, You deliberately broke the dean's statue. Yeshuan says, I just did as you told me. Hearing this, Lin Kun draws his sword, preparing to attack Yixuan, and shouts, "You ruined the dean's statue and have no respect. You must be a spy sent by the demons. Yes or no? Say it." Yixuan thinks to himself, "The statue did break because of me, but why do I feel that this guy is creating big reasons to blame me?" Lin Kun says, "I'll take your silence as a yes," and attacks Yixuan. Before the attack can land, someone intervenes and blocks his sword strike. It is none other than Yang Chayu. Lin Kun asks, "Why do you stop me?" Yang Chayu says, "Lin, there are still many things unclear in this. Why not we wait for the teachers to deal with it?" Lin Kun insists, "A spy sent by the demons is involved in this. I must get rid of him right now. Go away. Otherwise, I will fight you as well." Yang Chayu argues, "I can't let you kill him like this exactly. Because he might be a spy. If we kill the wrong people, how are we going to explain this to the Thunder Sword sect?" Lin Kun replies, "We don't need to explain anything to that weak sect. We must kill a spy even if I'm mistaken. If you insist on protecting him, I'm going to fight you as well." Yixuan says to Yang Chayu, "Thank you, Martial Sister, but I can deal with this myself." With that, Yixuan prepares to fight. Seeing this, Lin Kun releases his power and says, "Do you think you can survive 2 strikes of mine?" Seeing Lin Kun's power, the disciples are stunned and exclaim, "The 5th level of the Yang realm." Yixuan says, "The 5th level of the Yang realm. That's a surprise." Lin Kun says, "Surprise? I guess you used the wrong word. You should admire it. I'm showing you the power of the 5th level of the Yang realm right now." He then strikes at Yixuan with his sword, but Yixuan uses just 2 fingers to break his sword. Lin Kun is shocked. Yixuan then delivers a powerful punch to his face, sending him flying backward. The disciples exclaim, "He defeated a man in the 5th level of the Yang realm with 1 strike. What the hell? I didn't know there was someone so powerful in Bihuang." Yang Chayu is also shocked and thinks to herself, "He defeated Lin Kun with just 1 punch?"
Lin Kun gets up and shouts, "The most powerful person in the Big 10 sects in Beihuang is only at the 4th level of the Yang realm. No one could be a match for me. You must be a spy sent by demons. You're doomed. When my teacher comes, you are doomed." Suddenly, a voice is heard saying, "Who broke the dean's statue?" It is revealed to be the deputy dean. Seeing the deputy dean, Lin Kun says, "Deputy Dean, you came just in time. He broke the statue. He not only broke the dean's statue, but injured me. I strongly doubt that he's a spy sent by demons. Please kill him right on spot." Yang Chayu tries to explain the situation to the deputy dean, but the deputy dean says, "I will question him myself." The deputy dean asks, "Did you break the dean's statue?" Yixuan says, "I might be a reason why it broke, but I'm not a spy sent by demons." The deputy dean says, "I don't care if you're a spy or not. It's a humiliation to the dean that you broke his statue. Whoever dares to disrespect the dean must die." Yixuan prepares to fight the deputy dean, but then a message arrives for the deputy dean. Seeing the message, the deputy dean says, "It's an urgent message from the dean." As the deputy dean looks at the message, it shows an image of Yixuan with a message from Li Qingfeng, the dean of the Wandao Academy, saying, "Take care of this man. Don't get in his way." The deputy dean is stunned. Yixuan thinks to himself, "The deputy dean is in the original elixir realm. The word before is powerful enough for me to tackle him." However, the deputy dean approaches Yixuan and says, "Young man, don't be afraid. What's your name?" Fear is visible on the deputy dean's face. Lin Kun is shocked and asks, "Why is the deputy dean talking to Yixuan so nicely?" Yang Chayu says, "That's because the deputy dean is observant, and he knows that Yixuan didn't break it." The deputy dean asks, "Young man, don't be nervous. Just tell me your name." Our main character reveals his name is Yixuan. The deputy dean says, "Yixuan, don't be afraid. The dean's statue has been there for a long time and needs repair. Its breaking has nothing to do with you." Yixuan thinks, "What's going on?"
Why did his killing will suddenly disappear? Lin Kun says, Deputy Dean, you must be mistaken. The Dean statue has its mind on it. Why would it need repair? It's broken because of Yixuan. The Deputy Dean angrily shouts, Lin Kun, are you questioning me? And begins to release his formidable power. Lin Kun immediately apologizes. The Deputy Dean says, I'm stressing this again. The statue broke not because of Yixuan. It was an accident. Don't make trouble for Yixuan, understand? Lin Kun replies, got it. The Deputy Dean says, all right, Yixuan, never mind what happened to the statue. I hope you don't get mad or want to leave the academy because of this. Yixuan says, I won't take it personally. Thank you, Deputy Dean. The Deputy Dean says, good. A promising young man that didn't take it personally. You can go on with the enrollment ceremony. The Deputy Dean looks at the statue and thinks to himself, Mr. Li, I don't know why you value Yixuan so much, but this is the first time you sent me a message after I became your servant. I will follow your order and take good care of Yixuan. Yixuan looks at the Deputy Dean and thinks to himself, I seem to understand why the Deputy Dean's attitude toward me changed. And here the episode ends. As we saw in the previous episode, the Deputy Dean forgives Yixuan, which makes Lin Kun think to himself, why is the Deputy Dean so partial to Yixuan? Could it be because he's talented? No, I'm the most talented in Bai Huang. Behind Lin Kun, a few disciples are talking. Yixuan is lucky. The Deputy Dean saw that he was innocent. Right, the statue has the Dean's mind. It's impossible that Yixuan could break it. Hearing this, Lin Kun says, shut up. Next, we are going through the mind test, which is the second procedure of the entrance ceremony. A disciple asks, what is mind test? Lin Kun says, the word Wandao in Wandao Academy means we hope every one of you can have your own way to Taoism. To do this, you must have a firm mind, so we will do a mind test. Saying this, Lin Kun takes out a lot of copybooks and says, these are copybooks written by the Dean. They have the Dean's mind in it. Only those who have a strong mind can resonate with the copybooks. Those who resonate with the copybooks within 1 hour can choose which class they want to join. The rest will be sent to work as handymen in the spiritual herb garden in the back mountain for 1 month, before they can become formal students. Now, let the test start. And Lin Kun thinks to himself, Yixuan, I will prove to the Deputy Dean that he was mistaken about you. I specially prepared this copybook. You will absolutely not be able to understand it. Yang Chayu looks at the copybook in Yixuan's hand and says, isn't that Boshan stone copybook? Lin Kun, no one has understood that copybook. How could you give it to Yixuan? You're humiliating him deliberately. Lin Kun says, the Deputy Dean is still here. I suggest you mind your language. The copybooks are distributed randomly. He's just unlucky that he got the Boshan stone copybook. It has nothing to do with me. And Yixuan looks at it and says, this copybook, isn't it a copy of my previous work? Just then, 3 elders arrive and say, the newcomers are having the mind test. Let's see if there's a genius in them. The attention of one of the elders goes to the Deputy Dean, and they say, the Deputy Dean is here. Could there be a real genius? Elder Yao Ling says, I don't know if there's a talented guy, but surely there's an unlucky one. They are looking towards our main character, Yixuan, where Yixuan looks at the copybook and thinks to himself, quite good, similar to my handwriting. The elders look at him and say, that guy got the Boshan stone copybook. I heard that it's written by the Dean, copying a very powerful cultivator's work. No one has ever successfully understood it. This guy is doomed to be a handyman for 1 month. The Deputy Dean looks at Yixuan and thinks to himself, he got the Boshan stone copybook. Lin Kun is getting too full of himself. He dared to use the test for his personal revenge right under my nose. Gotta teach him a lesson after the test. Though I do wonder what's special about this guy that the Dean values. Maybe he can create a miracle. Just then, Yixuan says, can I have another copybook? Hearing this, the Deputy Dean gets angry and thinks to himself, I just started to have expectations of you and you want to change the copybook? And Lin Kun says, how dare you? You can't change the copybook. Do you think you can do whatever you want?
Yi Xuan says, it may be unfair to others if I use this copybook. Lin Kun says, you're the only one who thinks it's unfair. The copybooks are randomly distributed. Blame your own bad luck that you got the Boshan Stone copybook. It has nothing to do with me. And the deputy dean thinks to himself, although that copybook is hard, he doesn't even want to have a try. He doesn't have strong willpower at all. Why does the dean value him? And Yi Xuan thinks to himself, I never expected that one day I'd be trying to understand a copy of my previous work, but I have to wait or I might influence others. And Lin Kun thinks to himself, he wants to change for another copybook? That's impossible. Yi Xuan, you will lose face. The deputy dean will see that he misread you very soon. And the deputy dean thinks to himself, he should insist if he wants to change for another copybook, but he gave up because Lin Kun refused. He's hesitating and not persistent. Why did the dean ask me to take care of such a guy? Yi Xuan looks at the copybook and says, how do they copy my handwriting so good? And Yang Chayu looks at Yi Xuan and thinks to herself, why do I feel that Yi Xuan wants to change the copybook, not because it's difficult? Here we are shown some disciples who have managed to understand the copybook. The elders say, it's only been 5 minutes or so. Although he didn't break the record, it's still impressive. But Yi Xuan says, time is passing so slowly. After a little while, many more disciples succeed in understanding the copybook, and the elders say around 8 new disciples resonated with the copybooks in 15 minutes. They're not bad. They're qualified to enter our fighting class. Here, Yi Xuan is shown standing and sleeping. Lin Kun says there are 5 minutes left. Don't be upset even though you haven't made it. Working as a handyman for a month is not that hard. Here, we are shown some disciples who have not understood what is written inside the copybooks at all. A disciple says, why is my mind not strong enough? I stayed unmoved even when faced with a beauty. It's all because my copybook is too difficult. Lin Kun looks at Yi Xuan sleeping and thinks to himself, has he given up on the test? This is the result of offending me. The deputy dean looks at Yi Xuan and thinks to himself, what am I expecting? He doesn't want to challenge what's difficult at all. How could he succeed? The dean misread him for sure. Seeing this, Lin Kun thinks to himself, the deputy dean is shaking his head and sighing. Yi Xuan has let him down. This is not enough. I must humiliate Yi Xuan in front of everyone for what I suffered because of him. Here, Yang Chayu looks on thinking to herself, Yi Xuan is standing there doing nothing. Did he give up from the very beginning? Here, Lin Kun says, all right, last 5 minutes are left. Hearing this, Yi Xuan opens his eyes and says, it's my turn. Saying this, Yi Xuan starts to understand or absorb his copybook, and all the copybooks around Yi Xuan also start to be absorbed. Everyone is surprised to see this, and Yi Xuan successfully understood all the copybooks.
And here the episode ends. In the beginning of this episode, Lin Kun is seen saying, how is it possible? How could he understand the Boshan Stone copybook? Here, the elders say, even though he succeeded, why did the characters all fly toward him? The second elder says, that's because the dean's mind and the copybooks approves of his mind. The last time this happened was when Lin Yu joined the academy, but he only had the recognition of one copybook. But Yi Xuan has all the copybooks recognition, including the Boshan Stone copybook. How strong his willpower is that all the copybooks approve of him. The deputy dean thinks to himself, my dean, I shouldn't have doubted your choice. How blind I was. Please forgive me, Mr. Li. Here, Yi Xuan thinks to himself, the mind in these copybooks is not strong, but suits me very well. Little boy, I didn't expect that my guidance to you tens of thousands of years ago would bring me such a good reward. Thank you. Just then, 9 characters, before me array the soldiers line up to fight, are shown behind Yi Xuan. The elders say, what's that behind him? That seems like 9 characters, but I can't see them clearly. The deputy dean thinks to himself, the words are so profound that I can't understand them at all. Yi Xuan must be a big figure. I can't offend him. Here, Yi Xuan thinks to himself, Good. These words all absorb the mind. The power of the word before has recovered half of its power. Just then, Lin Kun says, "Yi Xuan, how dare you? You ruined all the copybooks of the dean." Hearing this, Yi Xuan thinks to himself, "He seems right. I focused too much on absorbing and didn't realize it. The little boy won't blame me, I hope." Yang Chai-yu says, "Lin Kun, Yi Xuan didn't do it on purpose." Lin Kun says, "Whether he did it on purpose or not, the fact is he ruined all the copybooks. Deputy Dean, these are all the dean's precious collections. If the dean comes back and finds they're all damaged, I'm afraid all of us will be punished." Hearing this, the deputy dean delivers a strong slap to Lin Kun's face, making Lin Kun fall far away, and the deputy dean says, "Are you telling me what to do?" The elders see this and say, "The deputy dean is so harsh. Let's keep quiet." The deputy dean thinks to himself angrily, "I shouldn't have sent him to test Yi Xuan. If the dean knows this," just then, the deputy dean receives another message from the dean. The deputy dean thinks to himself, "Ever since I became his servant, the dean has never offered to contact me, but today he sent 2 messages. Could this be related to Yi Xuan?" Inside the message, the deputy dean is told, "You dare to secretly test Yi Xuan? Do you want to die?" Hearing this, the deputy dean gets scared and thinks to himself, "The dean knows I used Lin Kun to test Yi Xuan." Here, Yi Xuan thinks to himself, "Anyway, it was my fault to have absorbed others' copybooks. I should have left a bit for them." Then, Yi Xuan calls the deputy dean and says, "I'm sorry for the copybooks." Just then, the deputy dean grabs Yi Xuan's hand and says very lovingly, "Don't be sorry. Good boy. You didn't do it on purpose. You absorbed the mind in the copybooks because you're talented. We're lucky to have you in the academy. Why would I blame you?" Seeing this, all the elders are astonished and say, "Why is the deputy dean behaving like this?" Seeing the deputy dean's actions, Yi Xuan thinks to himself, "Why is he holding my hands?" Lin Kun looks on and says, "Why is the deputy dean looking at him like that? Have I lost his love? My heart hurts." Hearing this, Yi Xuan says, "Deputy Dean, can you let go now?" Hearing this, the deputy dean lets go of Yi Xuan's hand and says, "Well, Yi Xuan, you don't need to worry about the copybooks. You're doubtlessly the first in this mind test. Choose a class you want to study in." Saying this, the deputy dean leaves and thinks to himself, "The dean wants to kill me because I tested Yi Xuan. Who on earth is Yi Xuan? Could he be the dean's illegitimate son?" Yang Chai-yu wants to talk to Yi Xuan, but just then an elder comes and says, "I'm Han Bin, the monitor of the formation class. I sincerely invite you to join my class." Just then another elder comes and says, "The formation class is boring. Yi Xuan, I'm Hung Shan. A genius with strong willpower must join the fighting class. Only real battles between real men can make your willpower even stronger." Then a female elder says, "Yi Xuan, I'm Yao Ling from the elixir class. If you can join my class, I can teach you personally." Hearing this, all the disciples were stunned, and one disciple said, "If I were as talented as him, I'd join the fighting class. In our world, the power to fight is everything." We are shown Yang Chai-yu, who is thinking, "What am I thinking? He's a genius. Why would he join the refining class that can be disbanded at any time?" Yi Xuan says, "Thank you for your invitation. I've decided which class to join. I choose." The 3 elders think to themselves, "He will choose me." But Yi Xuan says, "I will join Yang Chai-yu's refining class." The 3 elders are stunned. Elder Hung Shan says, "Yi Xuan, you don't know the situation here, do you? The refining class is the worst class here. It hasn't had any powerful disciples for a few consecutive years. It's a waste of your talent if you join that class." Elder Han Bin says, "Right, Yi Xuan, if you're interested in refining weapons, you can join my formation class. We also teach a bit about refining weapons." Then Elder Yao Ling says, "Yi Xuan, I'm so sad. Where is Yang Chai-yu better than me? Am I not beautiful enough or not big enough? Come and join me, will you? Elder Yao Ling is flirting with Yi Xuan, but he doesn't understand anything. Yi Xuan says, I have my reason for choosing the refining class. I'm sorry. Caillou. Oh, I should call you Monitor now. Can you show me to our class, Monitor? Yang Chayu is shown, who can't understand what's happening. Yi Xuan brings her back to reality. Then Yang Chayu says, Of course. Welcome to my class. Follow me. And she thinks to herself, Yi Xuan is talented enough to choose other classes. Why did he choose my refining class? Could it be because... She blushes, thinking, Yi Xuan likes me. Then she thinks, oh, come on. What am I thinking? That's impossible. Yi Xuan doesn't understand anything and thinks to himself, fighting class and other classes mostly have books on cultivation methods, but refining weapons need books on many aspects, such as materials, flames, beasts, and runes. The number of books there is the biggest. That's what I want. Elder Yao Ling says, Yi Xuan, if you regret and want to change a class, come to me. You're welcome at any time. Elder Han Bin says, it's a shame. He's so talented, but he chose to join the worst class. I'm not interested in the rest of the newcomers. Bye. And Elder Hang Shan angrily tells Lin Kun, if you hadn't targeted him, Yi Xuan would have chosen our class. I will report this to the teacher. You'll be punished. Lin Kun says, punished? What a joke. I'm the most talented in the fighting class. The teacher won't punish me. Yi Xuan, you must have lost your mind to have chosen the refining class. I will beat you up in the class competition 1 month later. I am the only genius in Beihong. Yi Xuan, just you wait. Others who have resonated with the copybooks can choose your classes now. Hearing this, all the disciples became happy and said, I want to join the fight class. I choose the formation class. And here, the episode ends.
The episode starts by showing the deputy dean, who is on his way to the education office and says, I offended the dean because of Ye Xuan. That's a huge mistake. I will treat Ye Xuan well, make up for my mistake, and make the dean forgive me. Just then, a disciple says, Mr. Deputy Dean, the teachers of all the classes are waiting for you in the education office. The deputy dean, heading toward the education office, tells the disciple, after the new students decide on their classes, report their choices to me without any delay. I need to know which class Ye Xuan chose. Hearing this, the disciple replies, Okay, Deputy Dean. The Deputy Dean enters the education office where the leaders of every division are present and greet him. The Deputy Dean sits down in a chair and says, report the students' situations in your classes one by one. The leader of the fighting class, Chu Xian, says, Deputy Dean, 7 students in my fighting class became qualified cultivators this month. The leader of the elixir class, Yuan Yingying, says 5 students in my elixir class became qualified cultivators. And the leader of the formation class, Qin Qiang, says luckily this month 2 members of my formation class became qualified cultivators. But the leader of the refining class, Han Yingcan, says, I'm sorry, but no one in my refining class became qualified cultivators this month. Hearing this, the deputy dean says, Yingcan, not only this month, your class doesn't have anyone who became a qualified cultivator this year, right? The fighting class leader then says, I suggest again that the refining class be disbanded. We can't waste the students' time like this. The leaders of the elixir class and formation class support the fighting class leader. Seeing this, the refining class leader says, Mr. Deputy Dean, please give us more time. The deputy dean says, Yingqian, the teachers are right. We've given you enough time. Every year your class is lagging behind. If the dean knows that we're wasting the students' time, and if he wants to punish us, no one can bear his anger. Yingqian says, Deputy Dean, refining weapons and making elixirs are 2 sacred subjects. Neither should be canceled. I am responsible that the refining class can't become good. You can change a teacher to lead the class, but don't cancel it. But the deputy dean says,
You are the best weapon refiner in the academy. If even you can't make it prosper, I don't think it's necessary to keep the class. Here I announce that the refining class is... Just then, a disciple steps forward and says, "Deputy Dean, this is the student's choice of classes. Please have a look." As soon as the deputy dean looks at the report, he is extremely surprised because Yeshuan has chosen the refining class. Seeing this, the deputy dean says, "Here I announce that the refining class not only continues, but more investment, the biggest investment ever seen." Hearing this, all the class leaders are astonished. In the next scene, we are shown Yang Kaiyu and Yeshuan. Yang Kaiyu is showing Yeshuan the refining class and says, "This is where the books about refining are stored, and the refining experience of some seniors and masters is also stored in the academy. We're not good at fighting indeed, but we have the most books among all the classes. After all, it requires profound knowledge to make a weapon. Yeshuan, this is the place where we practice." The sign outside the practice room reads, "Practice till saint becomes." Yeshuan thinks to himself, "Looks like Xiaoya doesn't forget what I said before." Yang Kaiyu says, "Come on, I'll take you to meet your classmates." "Classmates, let me introduce someone new to you." A disciple says, "Monitor, keep your voice down. Senior is going to make it soon." The monitor says, "Is Xiaolei trying to make a magic weapon again?" Yeshuan thinks to himself, "Looks like he is trying to make a magic weapon. I might as well take a look at this. I want to know if there is any difference from the way that I refined a weapon back then." We are shown a disciple named Xiaolei who forms a formation and says, "I managed to make a level 2 ice formation. As long as I put the formation into a sword, the weapon will become a magic one." All the disciples begin to cheer for Xiaolei. As Xiaolei starts to merge the level 2 ice magic formation with the sword, one disciple says, "He'll definitely make it this time." Hearing this, Yeshuan says, "I'm afraid he will fail again." All the disciples get angry at Yeshuan and say, "What nonsense are you talking about? Who are you anyway? Why didn't I see you before? Senior Xiao is the best among all of us. He has it all well planned. He will make it. Don't try to discourage him here." While that disciple is praising Senior Xiao, the sword breaks along with the level 2 ice magic formation. All the disciples are astonished. And here the episode ends.
In the last episode, we saw that Xiaolei had failed to forge a level 2 magic sword, which made him say, "Why did I fail again? I used dark steel this time. Where did it go wrong?" Upon hearing this, all the disciples commented, "Senior Lei failed again. I thought he would make it this time. I have been here for 3 years. Those students in the formation class or the battle class who came here with me at the same time have become qualified cultivators already. I thought Senior Xia would help us become qualified cultivators after he succeeds." Yang Kaiyu looked at the disciples and thought to herself, "Alas, none of us has become qualified cultivators for years. Most students start to feel disappointed." Xiaolei suddenly exclaimed, "I understand now. I finally know where it went wrong." Xiaolei then pointed at Yeshuan and said, "You're the reason why I failed." Yeshuan was confused, unable to understand what this foolish person was trying to say. Xiaolei continued, "I was about to succeed just now, but you suddenly spoke and disturbed my mind, which caused me to fail. It was all your fault." Hearing this, all the other disciples sided with him. He said something not good when Xiaolei was about to succeed. The disturbance is taboo when refining weapons. He didn't know the rules and said something bad. He must have affected Xiaolei. "That's right, Yeshuan, it's all your fault." Yang Kaiyu tried to explain to the disciples that Yeshuan didn't mean any harm. At this point, Yeshuan, visibly angry, yelled at the disciples, "You can't accept your failure, so you start to blame me for it. Why don't you blame the sun for your failure instead?" Xiaolei shot back, "Stop talking nonsense. Obviously, it was you who distracted me by speaking at a critical moment, or I wouldn't fail. I already have everything in control. How could I fail?" Yeshuan responded, You're right to some extent. The disturbance means you have to keep your mind at peace. It doesn't mean a peaceful environment. Ye Xuan then cited 2 or 3 examples of legendary weapons forged amidst chaos, such as the legendary weapon Fireblade was made in burning magma, and legendary weapon Thunderspear was made in lightning. He concluded, all these legendary weapons are made in dangerous and noisy places. If you can't keep your mind calm, you not only can't make a magic weapon, but will get killed. You think what I just said affected you? Don't you think that's ridiculous? Sha Lei defended himself. I'm just a student. It's easy for me to be affected by the environment. Beyond that, if I fail, our class might be canceled. I was under great pressure. Ye Xuan dismissed this. Those are just excuses. If your mind is calm enough, you still won't be affected even if the world is going to be destroyed. If you can't do that, you'd better transfer to another class now. You're not cut out for refining weapons. Some disciples immediately spoke up. Who are you to say we don't deserve to make weapons here? Yang Chaiyu interjected. Fellows, he's our new classmate. His name is Ye Xuan. The disciples were further enraged. How dare a new disciple presume to lecture us? If forging a magic weapon is so easy, why don't you forge one right here in front of us, Ye Xuan? The monitor said they shouldn't fight amongst themselves. Ye Xuan replied, It's all right, monitor. I can make a magic weapon, but I need you to prepare 10 chimes, 5 gongs, and 3 drums. One disciple questioned, Why do you need so many musical instruments anyway? Another disciple conceded, Forget it. Go get the instruments for him. The monitor thought, Is he really going to make a magic weapon? Ye Xuan thought to himself, I still need the books in the academy to improve my cultivation. The refining class can't be dismissed. I might as well help them today. A short while later, the disciples announced, We've got everything you need here. You may start now. Ye Xuan instructed them, All right, I need you to play these instruments as hard as you can. The disciples were confused. We just said the environment needs to be quiet while refining weapons. Is he trying to humiliate us this way? This is my first time seeing someone so arrogant. Sha Lei urged them on. Fellows, let's play the instruments as he asked. Let's see what he is capable of. As Sha Lei played his instrument, he thought to himself, even Master In Shan can't make a magic weapon in such a noisy environment, not to mention him, a new boy in the class. He'll disgrace himself if he fails to make a weapon later. The monitor thought, This is so noisy. It's hard to keep calm in such a noisy environment, not to mention refining a weapon. Can he really do that? Ye Xuan declared, You said I disturbed your mind because I spoke while you were refining the weapon. Then I am going to refine the weapon in a noisy environment. The moment Ye Xuan shouted, Condense! The broken sword mended itself and transformed into a magic sword. All the disciples were astonished. The monitor thought, A level 1 magic weapon can help the user become a level 2 cultivator. I didn't expect him to make a magic weapon in such a noisy environment. Sha Lei reflected, He just made a magic weapon in such a noisy environment, but I was trying to find excuses for my failure. Ye Xuan challenged Sha Lei, Are you convinced now? And then launched an attack with the magic sword. Sha Lei ducked to avoid the sword attack and replied, I'm convinced. And here the episode ends.
As we saw in the previous episode, Yi Xuan easily forged a magic weapon. The disciples were astonished, saying, He wasn't talking big. He really can make magic weapons. Beyond that, he did that so quickly. Is he already a qualified cultivator? A girl disciple asked, Monitor, is he really new here? Why do I feel he is even more powerful than our master? The monitor replied, He just came here today. I didn't expect him to be so skilled in refining weapons. He is even more talented than I would imagine. Sha Lei was then shown saying, Yi Xuan, I was being arrogant and impolite before. I'm sorry for offending you. Please forgive me. From today on, you will be my master. Master, I'm going to show my sincere respect. Yi Xuan responded, It will be enough if you can accept my training. There is no need to call me master. We are still classmates. Thank you, Yi Xuan. Can you help instruct me?
Even the hardest dark steel can't withstand the ice formation. I really don't know how to refine a magic weapon." Shalay asked. Yi Xuan suggested, "Why don't you try to make the formation less powerful? If the formation is less powerful, the weapon will be able to withstand it." Hearing this, Shalay said, "Do you mean I should put a level 1 formation into the weapon? It's not feasible. I calculated before. A level 1 formation is too weak to turn a weapon into a magic one." Yi Xuan then told him, "Then look at my magic weapon." Seeing Yi Xuan's magic weapon, Shalay exclaimed, "What? You used a level 1 formation to refine a magic weapon? How is this possible?" Showing the weapon, Yi Xuan explained, "I used 2 level 1 formations in the sword, and that created a magic weapon. Although a level 1 formation is weak, if you use 2 of them together, it becomes equivalent to a level 2 formation, and the sword won't break." Astonished, Shalay said, "A magic weapon can be made with 2 level 1 formations? That doesn't make any sense, but I should try it once." With this resolve, Shalay successfully integrated 2 level 1 ice formations and managed to create a magic weapon. The other disciples were impressed, saying, "Senior Sha managed to make a magic weapon. That's impressive, Yi Xuan. Senior Lei managed to make it right after you gave him some instructions." Shalay then asked Yi Xuan, what on earth is going on? According to my calculation, 2 level 1 ice formations are not enough to make a magic weapon. Why did I succeed to make one anyway?" Yi Xuan gave a profound answer. "You can't see the refining process with general algorithms. Also, the process is not all about hard materials and powerful formations. Refining weapons is turning stones into gold, waste into wealth, and bad into good. It's a sacred subject where 1 + 1 is bigger than 2. Upon hearing this, several disciples gained a sudden flash of enlightenment, and they all became qualified cultivators now. The remaining disciples were amazed. The scene shifts to Chu Xuan. "Deputy Dean, I still don't understand. It's all right if you don't want to cancel the refining class. Why do you give our resources to them anyway? It doesn't make any sense." The Deputy Dean replied, "Chu Xuan, didn't I explain to you just now? The refining class has lagged behind all of you, so you need to look after them more. You need to help those who lag behind after you become stronger, right?" The Deputy Dean thought to himself, "There is nothing I can do. The Dean favors Yi Xuan a lot. I have to look after Yi Xuan." The leader of the Elixir class then complained, "This is unfair. We earned what we now achieve. We have worked so hard to get where we are now, but now the refining class can get more resources than us even if they didn't do anything. This is bitterly disappointing." The leader of the formation class agreed, "That's right. There is the law of the jungle in the martial world. The strong deserve to get more. They're lucky enough that their class isn't canceled. How can you require us to look after them more?" The Deputy Dean thought, "Just as I thought. It's hard to persuade these masters. What should I do now? I can't offend the Dean indeed, but I have to make up an excuse to make them convinced, or they won't respect me in the future." Then the leader of the refining class interjected, "Deputy Dean, now that other masters don't want to give the resources to my class, I can live without it. I'm grateful enough that you won't cancel my class. I'll try my best to teach my students. I won't let you down." The Elixir class leader retorted, "No students in your class have become qualified cultivators for a year. You already let us down. Your class survived this year, but it will be canceled next year." The refining class leader declared with faith, "I have faith in my class. I believe it will become stronger than all of your classes." The Elixir class leader scoffed, "In your dreams! You don't deserve to see something like that unless there is someone who becomes a qualified cultivator in your class." While the two leaders were arguing, they all suddenly sensed a change. Anyone become a qualified cultivator? It seems to be the refining class. The Deputy Dean thought, "How can anyone in the refining class become a qualified cultivator at this moment? Is that Yi Xuan?" Just then, 3 more disciples became qualified cultivators. Other students in the sector were saying, "Another 2 students in the refining class just became qualified cultivators. 3 people in the refining class become qualified cultivators at one time. Something like this only happened in the battle class before. The refining class is not the worst class anymore. Cultivators with a level 1 magic weapon will have a rather high status in any sect." Then there was another wave, another 4 students. Total 7 students become qualified cultivators at the same time. The leaders of the fighting class and the formation class wondered, is the refining class going to rise? The refining class leader was overjoyed and announced, I'm going back to see who did it and give them my congratulations. The elixir class leader thought, how could this be? The refining class that always remains the last one suddenly has 7 qualified cultivators? It even outshines my class now. No, I have to find a way to hold them down. At Wandao Academy, only my class can become the most powerful one. The deputy dean mused, 7 students became qualified cultivators right after Yi Xuan joined the refining class. If I'm not mistaken, this must have something to do with Yi Xuan. No wonder the dean thinks a lot of him. The fighting class leader asked the deputy dean, Deputy Dean, is this why you want to give the refining class more resources? Did you know this would happen? The deputy dean declared, of course. Remember that you can never judge a book by its cover. You have to see through things to know the world better. The fighting class leader apologized. Deputy Dean, I'm sorry for misunderstanding you just now. I'll never question you again. As the deputy dean walked away, he thought, I just wanted to look after Yi Xuan more. I didn't expect the masters to admire me more for that. What a great bargain. The scene shifts to the 7 disciples who became qualified cultivators. Other students express jealousy. I'm so jealous of them. I also want to become a qualified cultivator. Suddenly, Master Yin Chan arrived and asked, Am I dreaming? Do some of you really become qualified cultivators? The disciples greeted her, Greetings, Master Yin Chan. Master Yin Chan asked for the names of the qualified disciples. The disciples began naming them, Cha Yu, Shai Lei, Liunan, Li Feng, Zheng Bin, Sheng Yuan, and Tian Yu. Master Yin Chan said, It's really 7 of you. I knew they could make it. Their efforts didn't go wasted. The 7 qualified disciples were quite happy. Young Chayu ran up to the master and hugged her, saying, Master Yin Chan, you're back. Did you see me become a qualified cultivator? I'm so happy. Well done, Chayu. Master, we also made it. Master Yin Chan responded, I saw that. You all did a good job. I'm very proud of you. If I'm not mistaken, you all made it because of Shai, right? He managed to make a magic weapon and told you how to do it? Shai quickly corrected her. No, I failed again. Yi Xuan guided us. That's why we made it. Master Yin Shan was shocked. What? You became a qualified cultivator right after he guided you? He must be a great master of refining weapons. Where is he? I want to meet this great master. Young Chayu explained, Master, he's not like you think. He's our new student. He just came here today. Master Yin Shan was utterly astonished. What? A new student? How is this possible? Young Chayu insisted, He's a rare talent. You'll understand that after you meet him. Where is Yi Xuan? A disciple answered, Monitor and Master, Yi Xuan said he wanted to read some books in the scripture pavilion. And here, the episode ends.
The episode begins with a view of the scripture pavilion of the refining class, where Ye Xuan has arrived. Inside the scripture pavilion, we see a hidden master who is concealing his power and sweeping the floor. He thinks to himself, 7 students became qualified cultivators at one time? Did they suddenly understand how to make a magic weapon? Han Yin Quan must have improved again, which enlightened her students. Just then, Ye Xuan approaches the old master and says, Greetings, senior. The old master asks, Who are you? Ye Xuan replies, I'm Ye Xuan, the new student in the refining class. I'm here to read books. The old master says, No wonder I can't recognize you. Go ahead. Remember to take good care of the books. Ye Xuan says, Okay. The old master watches Ye Xuan and thinks, He's something. I didn't notice him before he got here. I'm going to test him later. If he is really talented, I don't mind guiding him a little bit. Ye Xuan thinks, I can feel he's more powerful than the deputy dean. Looks like it's true that every sect has an ace up its sleeve. But that doesn't have anything to do with me. I'd better take my time to read books here. Several minutes later, Ye Xuan says, It's done. I'm going to read the next one. The old master walks up to Ye Xuan and says, Boy, you have read dozens of books only in several minutes.
You can't read hastily and without thinking. Don't bite off more than you can chew. He thinks. Young people are always arrogant. Most of them will feel down after hearing what I just said. If he is really talented, he will show me what he is capable of. I tested many talented people this way, and it worked every time. It won't be an exception this time. But Ye Xuan simply says, "Thank you for reminding me of that. I'll keep that in mind," and starts reading the book again. The old master is surprised and shouts, "Hey, do you really not understand what I mean, or are you just pretending that you don't know? Don't you understand why I said that?" Ye Xuan says, "Yeah, this is why I thanked you for reminding me." The old master yells in frustration, "You didn't understand at all. I wasn't really reminding you, but testing you. You should get angry and then show me your talents after hearing what I just said. Then I'll give you some suggestions. If you're talented enough, I'll teach you the unique skill of mine. Do you understand now?" Ye Xuan says, "Senior, I understand now. But Senior, to tell the truth, I don't want your unique skill." The old master is shocked, as this is the first time a disciple has refused him. The old master asks again, "You don't want it?" Ye Xuan confirms, "That's right. Thank you for appreciating me." The old master is furious and says, "Boy, you're so arrogant. How dare you look down upon my unique skill? Do you know what my unique skill is? I learned it from the dean. I'm going to teach you a lesson today, you smug boy." Seeing this, Ye Xuan thinks, "Looks like I have to find a way to send him away, or I won't be able to read books here." So Ye Xuan says, "Your unique skill is called 9-Fire Formula, right?" The old master is stunned and asks, "How do you know that?" Ye Xuan continues, "Beyond that, I also know you're stuck in the 5th level for a very long time. You tried hard to reach the 6th level, but failed every time, which caused you a backfire. Now, you're going to die soon." The old master is shaken and asks, "What? How do you know that? Who on earth are you?" Ye Xuan replies, "You don't need to know that. Let me ask you, do you want to reach the 6th level?" The old master thinks to himself, "I live in seclusion here just because I'm going to die. I want to find a talented disciple and teach my unique skill ASAP. But if I can reach the 6th level, I'll be able to heal. Then I'm willing to do anything for you if you really can help me reach the 6th level." Ye Xuan then uses his power to fix the problem in the old master's body, which causes a golden glow to be seen outside the scripture pavilion. The old master thinks, "The formula in my head is so profound. If I can understand it, I'll certainly be able to reach the 6th level." Ye Xuan says, "You may go outside to understand the formula. After you do, I'll teach you the next formula." The old master says, "Yes, I'll wait outside. Call me if you need anything." And now, Ye Xuan can calmly read his books. And here the episode ends.
The episode begins outside the scripture pavilion, where two men are talking. One of them asks, "Are you sure that the old man is a powerful cultivator? He doesn't look like one to me." The other replies, "I think so. He just looks like an ordinary person." The two men then address a fat man whose name is revealed to be Jin, asking him, "Did they cheat you again?" Jin says, "I spent a lot of money to get the information from a talented disciple in the battle class. Don't worry, it can't be wrong." Hearing this, the two men mention that a disciple from the battle class had previously told them about a powerful cultivator, but when they went to check, there was no one. They say, "Jin, these bastards in the battle class are cheating you out of your money." Jin confidently says, "Don't worry, the information is very reliable this time. Besides, I don't care about money. My dad spent half of his wealth sending me here to study. I can't let him down. I just want to become stronger. I don't care how much money that is going to cost." We are shown the old master cultivating and thinking, the formula is so profound. After reading it for some time, I have become much more powerful now. Just then, the old master shouts, "Who is making noises here?" It is none other than Jin, who is training by breaking a stone with his chest and then his head. After finishing his training, Jin thinks, "I just worked so hard to show him my talents. If he is really a powerful cultivator, he will notice me and teach me his skill."
However, the old master yells at Jin, "Boy, just go somewhere else if you want to practice. Stop making noises here." And thinks to himself, what is he doing here anyway? It'll be terrible if he disturbs the senior inside. Jin protests, "This isn't right. You just saw my talents. Shouldn't you test me? If I pass the test, you will guide me and teach me your unique skill." Hearing this, the old master angrily says that breaking a stone with his head is not a talent, and he kicks Jin out, saying, "He just wasted my time." Just then, Yi Xuan addresses the old master, "I've finished reading the books on the first floor. I'm going to the second floor now. The second floor is locked. Do you have a key?" Hearing this, the old master rushes toward Yi Xuan and says, "Yes, please wait a moment. I'm going to get the key for you right away." We are shown Jin, who was lying on the ground after being kicked by the old master, and he says that the old man's kick had a lot of strength. There is no doubt that he is really a powerful cultivator. Therefore, Jin prepares to speak to the old man again. In the next scene, the scripture pavilion is shown, where Yi Xuan is reading a book when Jin arrives looking for the old master. Yi Xuan asks, "Who are you?" Jin says, "You look strange to me. Are you new here?" Yi Xuan says, "Yeah. Are you also studying here?" Jin says, "Yes, I'm the most powerful student in the battle class. You don't know anyone here. Why don't you follow me? I'll protect you." Jin thinks to himself, only powerful people will be allowed to study here. It'll do me good if I can build a good relationship with him. And he says, "As far as I know, the keeper of this pavilion is a very powerful cultivator. I'm going to get his attention with my extraordinary talents and pass his test. Then I will be able to get his unique skill. I'll put in a few good words for you in front of him. You might get some benefits as well." Yi Xuan asks, "Aren't you afraid that I'll take away your chance?" Hearing this, Jin laughs and says, "You're just a new cultivator. Just stop pulling my leg." Just then, the old man comes running, which makes Jin immediately start apologizing to the old man for entering the scripture pavilion without permission. But the old man pays no attention to Jin and goes to give the key to Yi Xuan, which completely surprises Jin. Yi Xuan thanks the old master for bringing the key. The old master says, "It is my honor to serve you, senior. By the way, is he disturbing you? I can help you kick him out." Yi Xuan asks, "Do you know who he is?" The old master says, "His name is Jin Bao. His father owns the biggest store here and has money to burn, but he has no talents at all. He is strong indeed, but he can't learn any cultivations. His father spent a lot of money sending him here to study." Yi Xuan thinks, he is strong but can't learn any cultivations? He's just like the man in my memory. Could this boy be that man's offspring? Jin thinks, the old man called that boy senior. That boy must be more powerful than him. I'm going to take him as my master. But Yi Xuan thinks, forget it. It doesn't have anything to do with me. I might as well go read the books on the second floor. Just then, Jin rushes over and says, "Master, you will be my master from now on. Please, accept my greetings." Yi Xuan says, "I'm not a master. I don't accept anyone as my disciple. I also don't want to waste your time." Hearing this, Jin says, "Master, I have money to burn. I can get you anything you want, including all kinds of treasures and pretty women." Yi Xuan says, "I don't need these things. I just want to read books." An idea comes to Jin's mind, and he says, "Master, do you like these books?" Seeing this, Yi Xuan gets angry and kicks Jin out of the scripture pavilion. Then the old master comes forward and says, "How dare you want to take senior as your master?" Jin says that until he becomes Master Yi Xuan's disciple, he will remain kneeling, which Yi Xuan watches from above and thinks, if I can help train him, he might help me seek revenge in the future. I wonder if he deserves my training or not. And here the episode ends.
As seen in the last episode, Jin is kneeling down because he wants Yi Xuan to become his master. Just then, Jin's friends, or guards, arrive in a terrible state. Seeing this, Jin asks, "Who did this to you?" But Jin's friend says, "Jin, run away from here quickly. Chenbo is coming here," which surprises Jin. Just then, Chenbo arrives and says, "Jin, my pocket is empty. Can you lend me some money? How about 1,000,000 taels of gold?" Hearing this, Jin is surprised and says, "Didn't you say I only need to give you 10,000 every month? Why do you ask so much this time?" To which Chenbo says, "Because you're going to leave here in a month.
I can't ask you for money again after you leave, so I want you to give me the protection money for the next few years. Jin says, "This is going too far. Why would I give you money after I leave?" Hearing this, Chenbo intimidates Jin and says, "Do you have a problem with that?" Seeing this, the old master thinks, Chenbo is going too far. Yezhuan tells the old master, "Don't do anything, just watch silently," to which the old master agrees. Jin says, "Chen, I don't have so much money with me. Can you ask for less money?" Hearing this, Chenbo gets angry and says, "Why don't you ask your father for the money? I need 1 million in 3 days. Otherwise, I'll cut off your fingers before you leave here." Jin's friend says, "Chenbo, aren't you afraid that the dean will punish you for this?" Chenbo says, "I'm an official student in this academy. Why would the dean punish me for a useless external student?" He then kicks Jin and says, "I'll tell you what, even if I break your arms right now, no one will stand up for you." Jin, while getting beaten, thinks, "If I were strong, I wouldn't have to be humiliated like this. But I am weaker than Chenbo." Just then, Yezhuan speaks to Jin via voice transmission, telling him to fight back, which surprises Jin, and he says, "Master, Chenbo is very powerful. If I try to fight, I will be killed." Yezhuan says, "I've offered you a chance to change your life. You can choose to keep living like a coward or walk on a road of thorns and then become powerful." Chenbo leaves, saying, "I'll come back to get the money. You'll be screwed if you don't have enough money." The old master thinks, "Big fish will eat up the small ones. This is how this world runs." Just then, Jin stands up and says, "I don't want to be someone useless all my life. I want to be great, even just for a second." Saying this, he attacks Chenbo with his punch, which hits Chenbo and pushes him back a little, surprising everyone. The old master thinks, how dare he fought back? Was it by the senior's command? Chenbo says, "How dare you beat me? Even my father has never beaten me like this. I'm going to break your arms no matter what it takes today." Hearing this, Jin's friend steps forward and says, "Jin, get out of here. We'll stop him." To which Jin says, "Stay out of this, all of you. I'm going to fight with him alone. Master won't fool me. He asked me to beat him down. That means I might have a chance to do that." Thinking this, Jin is about to attack Chenbo with a punch, but Chenbo attacks Jin with great speed and continuously attacks Jin. Yezhuan thinks he has in his blood the 100 refinements combat body. Only through the most arduous trials can his constitution be activated. Jin, the real practice is just now beginning. Chenbo hits Jin down and says, "Now you know what you get for provoking me." Jin's friend says, "Jin, are you okay?" Chenbo says, 1 million taels of silver is not enough now. You just hit me, you gotta pay me twice that much. That's 2 million taels of silver." Jin's friends are surprised to hear this, but Jin stands up again and says, "I haven't lost yet," and again goes to attack Chenbo. Jin thinks about Yezhuan. The man upstairs looked quite distinguished. He must have his considerations in asking me to fight. My performance today will determine whether I can make a name for myself. Chenbo is shown releasing his power and attacking Jin with a Tiger Punch, which hits Jin and he falls far away. Chenbo leaves saying, "I'll give you 3 days. Remember, it's 2 million taels of silver. If I don't see my money, I will kill you all." The old master thinks, Chenbo is so brutal. Jin could be disabled even if he didn't die. What the hell does he want? We are shown Yezhuan, who give Jin power or a technique, which makes Jin get up again, and he says, "Chenbo, it's not over yet." Which makes Chenbo say, "It's surprising enough that you were able to get up again after being beaten so badly by me. But no matter how many times you fight with me, you will never be able to defeat me." Saying this, he attacks Jin. We are shown that everyone thought that Chenbo's attack had hit Jin and that Jin wouldn't be able to get up again. But Jin is shown having blocked Chenbo's attack with one hand, which surprises everyone. Chenbo tries to pull his hand out of Jin's hand but can't. Jin says, "You like punching, right? Today I will finish your game by punching you." Hearing this, Chenbo says, "You can't hit me. I am an official student of the academy." But Jin ignores Chenbo's useless talk and gathers energy in his punch and attacks Chenbo with it, which sends Chenbo flying and dragging across the ground, and in just one punch, Chenbo is finished. And here the episode ends.
As seen in the previous episode, Jin and Chenbu were involved in a single punch exchange. Jin beat Chenbu away with just one punch, which made all of Jin's friends astonished. They exclaimed, "Jin beat Chenbu away with just one punch? You're amazing."
Meanwhile, Yu Xuan was watching this from above and said that Jin should now become a qualified cultivator. As soon as Yu Xuan said this, golden energy started emanating from Jin's body. Seeing this, Jin's friend said, Jin upgraded to qualified cultivator. In another scene, the master of the refining class was shown heading to the scripture pavilion to meet Yu Xuan. Just then, she also saw the golden energy. Seeing it, Yang Chaiyu said, Yu Xuan went to the scripture pavilion. That could be Yu Xuan. Hearing this, the refining class master said, let's go and find out, and rushed towards the scripture pavilion with great speed. On the other side, Lin Kun was shown, whom a disciple was telling, Chen Bu went towards the scripture pavilion, and this golden light was also coming from the scripture pavilion. This means Chen Bu became a qualified cultivator. Hearing this, Lin Kun said, gather our classmates to greet Chen Bu, all of them. Everyone should know that Wandao Academy, the battle class, led by me, is the greatest. Then Jin was shown, who said, I became a qualified cultivator? I can't believe I did it. I'm not a loser anymore. Just then, Yu Xuan stepped forward and said, your constitution has just been activated, but you still have a long way to go. Jin replied, yes, sir. I am at your disposal from now on. I'll do as you say. If the order is to eat dirt, I will never eat mud. Just then, Yang Chaiyu arrived and asked, Yu Xuan, what happened? Yu Xuan replied, nothing. I just inspired a student I happened to see. The refining class master then said, wait, is this student you're talking about the one who just became a qualified cultivator? Yu Xuan said, yes, that's him, Jin Dabao. And you are? Yang Chaiyu said, Yu Xuan, let me introduce our teacher. This is Miss Han Yi Ken. She is the instructor of the refining class. Hearing this, Yu Xuan greeted Miss Han. The master said, well, please call me Yi Ken. I heard about you helping Jia Li and others become qualified cultivators. Compared to you, I'm not even much of a teacher. Seeing this, Jin thought that since Yu Xuan was from the refining class, he should also join the refining class. The refining class master then said, Yu Xuan, Jin Bei Bao is not from the refining class, right? Yu Xuan said, yes. Just then, disciples of the battle class arrived outside the scripture pavilion and started beating drums and shouting, congratulations to battle class student Chen Bu for becoming a qualified cultivator. Seeing this, Yu Xuan, Jin, and Yang Chaiyu thought, what the hell? What are they doing? Is Lin Kun out of his mind? The refining class master asked, Lin Kun, what's that all about? Lin Kun replied, nothing. We are just celebrating the appearance of the 8th qualified cultivator in our battle class. Please forgive us if we disturb you. Hearing this, Yang Chaiyu said, Lin Kun, you made such a big show just to show off in front of us? 7 people in the refining class have become qualified cultivators today. But look at us. We are not that ostentatious as you are. Lin Kun countered, that's not the same. Everyone knows that the refining class is always the worst. Well, you do have a few students who became qualified cultivators, but who knows if it's because you had some luck this year. How can your class compare to ours? A combat class disciple added, that's right. The refining class didn't have 7 qualified cultivators until this year. And what about us? We have 7 to 8 students become qualified cultivators every year. You have 7 qualified cultivators? So what? Another one of us has become a qualified cultivator. We still have more than you guys. The first place belongs to us. You can't deny this. Lin Kun then said, let's go. Time to meet the 8th qualified cultivator of the battle class. Yang Chaiyu asked, Master Han, why didn't you say something? Master Han replied, he's telling the truth. You don't have to get angry about it. It's better to shut them up with action than useless bickering. Yang Chaiyu said, I know, it is just so hard to put up with Lin Kun's arrogance. They only have 1 more qualified cultivator than we do? Who are they to look down on us? Yu Xuan advised Yang Chaiyu, be patient, Yang Chaiyu. Let's go over there and see. Maybe Lin Kun will make a fool of himself again. Yang Chaiyu wondered, "What do you mean?" Inside the pavilion, a battle class disciple shouted, "Chen Bu, congratulations on becoming the 8th qualified cultivator in the battle class. We're here to greet you. Come out now." Lin Kun asked, "Where is Chen Bu?" A disciple replied, "Monitor, look! Chen Bu has been knocked out." They were all shocked, thinking, "What? Didn't Chen Bu become a qualified cultivator? How can this be?" Just then, Jean spoke up and said, "I did it. By the way, I'm the one who just became a qualified cultivator, not Chen Bu." Hearing this, everyone started making fun of Jean, saying, "What? You became a qualified cultivator? How is this possible? Loser, aren't you an auditor? How could you possibly defeat Chen Bu?" The old master then intervened, saying, "Shut it. Jean did become a qualified cultivator, and I saw it with my own eyes." Yu Xuan then said, "Lin Kun, it looks like you have greeted the wrong person. You made such a big show to make us laugh." Lin Kun countered, "Who says we greeted the wrong person? Don't forget, Jean De Bao is from the battle class." Lin Kun then said to Jean, "You have become a qualified cultivator. You are eligible to become a formal student. You should submit an application to the academy." Jean agreed. "You're right. I do need to apply for becoming a formal student." Lin Kun felt that Jean would join their battle class, so he started making fun of the refining class. Yu Xuan questioned, "Who says that he must enter the battle class when he becomes a formal student?" Lin Kun boasted, "Battle class is the most powerful class in our academy, and of course he will enter our class. As for you guys, don't even think about it." However, Jean declared, "I will join the refining class. Master Han, please approve me to enter the refining class." Seeing this, Lin Kun exclaimed, "Jean, what are you doing? Come back here." A battle class disciple said, "Jean is crazy. Did you hear what he said? He needs a beating. You lunatic. How dare you refuse our class monitor Lin Kun's invitation?" Lin Kun, angered, shouted at the battle class disciple, "Silence." Hearing him, they all fell silent. Lin Kun then said to Jean, "Jean, I know you suffered a lot when you were an auditor in our class. This is a mistake on my part as the class monitor. I apologize to you. Listen to me. When you go back to the battle class, I will make Chen Bu return all the money he took from you, and I will punish him severely. All the books in the battle class are open to you. I will personally help you in your cultivation. How about that?" And he thought to himself, "Say yes. I gave you such a generous offer. As long as I can get you back to the battle class, the winner today is still me." Yang Chayu said, "Master, we can't watch Lin Kun take away Jean. How about giving Jin Da Bao some benefits?" Master Han replied, "That's not easy. Honestly, the battle class can give him better terms no matter what we give him. After all, there is a huge resource gap." Yu Xuan assured her, "Don't worry, Miss Han. I believe he will make the right decision." Jin Daibao then replied, "Sorry, thank you for giving me such a generous deal, but I'm still going to choose the refining class, because Yu Xuan is in that class." Hearing this, Lin Kun was shocked and said, "Jean, what nonsense are you talking about? Yu Xuan is but a freshman." Yang Chayu retorted, "Lin Kun, you've already lost the game. Why are you still pestering him? It's rather awkward." The refining class master then said, "Lin Kun, let's stop here. It is Jean who can decide which class to join. Jin Daibao, come with me. I'll help you with the class entry procedures." Yang Chayu then said, "By the way, Lin Kun, you held such a big welcome ceremony for the freshmen in our class. My bad, I almost forgot to say thank you." Lin Kun, furious, shouted, "Wait! Jean is not part of the battle class. We can't spare him for beating up Chen Bu." And he thought to himself, "Jean made me lose face? You're dead." Jean clarified, "It was Chen Bu who hit me first, and I had no other choice but to fight back." Lin Kun shouted, "Cut the crap. You must pay for it since you beat up our classmate." Yang Chayin tried to stop Lin Kun, but Lin Kun dodged her and attacked Jean with his Viper Soul Swallowing technique. A battle class disciple commented, "It's one of Lin Kun's master strokes. This move attacks one's internal meridians.
He's going to cripple Jean. But just then, Yu Xuan intervened and destroyed the technique with his 2 fingers. Lin Kun was shocked, and the battle class disciples exclaimed, Yu Xuan cracked Lin Kun's master stroke with just 1 finger? How is this possible? Lin Kun yelled, Yu Xuan, how dare you stop me? You think I won't screw you up? Yu Xuan challenged him, just give it a shot. Lin Kun charged at Yu Xuan, but the refining class master stepped between them and stopped their fight. And here the episode ends.